I'm doing a little bit more clearing today, just making a pathway through to the road, this part of our land, and I'm going to use this pathway to pull all the broom that I've cut down right along the road through, so we can stack it up down here, and then we have a clear channel to put in yet more concrete posts and make more progress with our perimeter fencing.
This morning I'm going to make a start on cleaning up this wood burner which we have gotten. It is in pretty good condition. A little bit of rust here and there because it is used. So the first thing I'm going to do, get all main bits of rust off. All the big bits. A little bit of ice in there to clean out. Not quite sure if I'm going to paint it yet or just sand it all down. Put some maybe oil on it to seal it. But I'll work that out once I get the rust off. This fire will be going to this side of the house. We have our wood burner in our living room, which is this chimney. We have this chimney, which is our kitchen one. And this chimney at the moment is not being used. It is in the hallway outside our bedroom. So that is where this will be going. I'm going to be at this for quite a while. I also have some sandpaper WD-40 for getting a lot of the rust off. At the moment I am up at our old animal houses, the ones that are all very ugly, at the top of our driveway. And just along this one I took the roof off this previously, but there is this big wooden beam going across these two doorways, which I'm going to try and knock out. I'm hoping cut it in half and it will be the two posts for the gate entrance to our garden bed field. I'm hoping a couple of whacks with the sledgehammer. There's a couple of little bits of wire like this to snip, and I'm hoping it will just fall out. I managed to get this big beam off. A little bit harder than I first thought because there was a lot of wires and nails attached at the other side. But it seems like a good solid beam. I'm going to bring it down to the woodshed, which is very close to the garden bed field. Take all the nails out, clean it all up a little bit and cut it in half. I think I've just discovered why I never took this off before. Wasps' nests. I've just gotten all the bits of wire off, all the nails out. Ones I couldn't get out, I just punched in further. Got rid of the wasp nest and any little bits of plastic. So I'm thinking before I cut it in half, might just give it a little bit of a clean up. Take the top layer off. It'll just really make it look a lot nicer. And let me see if there is any bad bits in amongst it, because it is slightly over 4 meters long. But it seems good and solid. I have to say that this beam definitely looking a lot nicer than I thought it was going to. Seems a bit of a shame to use it for 2 gate posts, but at least they'll be nice gate posts. They're going just down here. So at the entrance of our garden bed field, I've added in another big rock to the end of this wall, which these top row were all added to there. So these two added in, and I've dug 2 big holes for the gate posts. And then this bit of fencing will run to the gate post, and here will be flattened out more for the pathway around the field. Another post in here, this bit of fencing up to this post, and then flatten this ramp out and make some steps here. That will be this end finished. It will take a little bit of time because it also I have to make a gate for it. I'm not sure what I'm going to use for that yet, but first of all, the gate posts, which I'm going to use this big beam. I'm just about to cut it in the center, bring it down, set it into the holes. I have spent a little bit of time sanding one side of this with a little bit of oil. Not too long, but I've realised it's going to take quite a while to get it the way I want it. So I have gotten a new attachment for the grinder, wire brush, which will just be a lot more powerful. So I'm going to give it a go on the top and see how it works. You can see at this side here was where I sanded it with the sandpaper, which is starting to look a lot better than the likes of over here where it's just all rust. This little attachment will hopefully save a lot of time. Very quick process. And to finish off the top, get it all looking nice and shiny, and then I shall move on to everything below. I think this side is definitely the worst, so I'm going to give it a go with the grinder and see how it turns up. Pretty good start for the first sort of hour working with the grinder. Got most of the surface rust off, right around the big flat sides anyway. A little bit more to do on them, and around this doorway here. A bit more on the top, and then on to cleaning the inside. I am currently down towards the entrance of our forest. I was doing a little bit of pruning around these oak trees because there's just, you can see there's actually a big dead trunk in the center, but there's just too many growing in the one spot, so I've been cutting a few out of it to make the bigger ones healthier for the future. My plan is to use the branches for gates for our garden bed field, so get them up to the woodshed and strip all the bark off them, and we'll see how much of them I can use. Dogs are way on up without me. A little bit of cloud coming in. Just up where all my tools are, well, some of them, and we've got these big bits of oak. These are going to be the gate for the entrance here into our garden bed field. So first of all, well, I do need to strip the bark off them to make them last a little bit longer, look a little bit nicer. But first of all, I'm going to cut 4 bits slightly longer, 2 for the uprights at each side of the gate, one for across the top and one for across the bottom to make a bit of a rectangle. Cut them slightly longer, take the bark off them, and then work out the rest after that. So here we have a bit of a rectangle cut out of the logs. Not quite sure with the top part, maybe like arched, or maybe bits. I don't really want spikes. But next stage, I'm going to take the bark off these bits, probably notch these together and cut off the extra at both of the bottom corners, make them good and strong, and do the same with the top, and then I can work out the center pieces but have the outside frame put together. Making pretty good progress with our soon to be gate. I've got basically the frame, which is what you can see here, cut a little bit longer, and the bark all stripped off. So it's now ready to cut the size and join all the joints, fix it together, and that will be the main part of the gate. I have these parts left over, which will go in between, just so as the dogs can't get through, because that is the main purpose for this gate. So I've just made a start on doing some of the joints for our gate. I've started one, a little bit more to do to it. And just bottom corner here, and just half out of one, half out of another, so there's a good flat surface to fix them to. It'll stop it moving and be nice and secure. I will round these extra bits off to make it more joined together. That is now the frame done. I have one diagonal bit to go in from the hinges going up in between, stop the gate from dropping, rubbing on the ground, and a few more screws in each corner. But for now, I'm actually able to lift it up. I lean it against something. Pretty big gate. I've just screwed the gate on, temporary. And it fits in perfect.
Oh, very nice. Fits nicely with that treat. What do you think, Finn? Thumbs up? Happy? Very impressed with the gate you've whipped together. I know you've still a few bits to do, but me and Finn will just come and go. Oh yeah, you push it, yeah?
Yeah, you push the gate and then you got a wee sign made up for it.
Just like that. And we're into the vegetables. Speaking of vegetable gardening, I actually did a little bit of work in here this morning. I did some weeding around our strawberries. We actually have one ready to pick. Imagine this, mid-November. Really sweet. Come on. So I decided it was worthwhile trying to overwinter some of our pepper plants. So what I've done is move them from in the garden bed to in an actual big plant pot, and I've popped them in our mini greenhouse, our cold frame, and I'm hopeful they will survive over winter. Who knows, but it's better than just letting them die, I suppose. So there's actually quite a few peppers ready to pick. They're not the biggest at all, but it's now or never. What do you think, Finn? Oops, one missing. Make something nice for dinner with these. Excited to finally grow some broccoli as well.
I've just joined this little piece into the gate It's actually 2 pieces because it wasn't long enough. I'm now getting down to the thinner bits of the sticks. I've decided just to notch a little bit out of one instead of doing a bit out of both. I think I'm pretty happy with the gate as it is. So I think time to put it on. There's a chance I might add some little bits in the likes of here or maybe here, but I don't think that the gaps are actually that big. So put it on and I might add to it after, but hopefully I won't have to.